Testing, 1, 2, testing, testing. I think we're back. I think we are live. Testing. Okay, so we're live. So for the video, this video is a Zebec Network for all the Zebecians and the pirates and Zebec millionaires. So the question is, do you think there's going to be a big announcement this week? Thinking now would be a good time for an announcement, right? With things going up and down. And the Zebec is a good project, right? It's solid. It has a good use case. It's something people will need in the future. So I don't know how this is going to play out. But let's start the screen share and see what we can see. So let me start the screen share and start off with Caleb and Brown. So Caleb and Brown is a crypto brokerage that self-custodies your crypto and gives you 24/7 support and gives you a one-on-one broker. So if you're into crypto, I know you have a lot of questions. There's a lot to crypto. It's not easy to understand. You have to set your wallets up. You have to know the tokens and you have to know what you're buying. So there's a lot involved. So if you have questions or if you're trying to understand it, get someone to help you, right? Get to a class or someone who can help you, or a brokerage that gives you a personal broker. So shout out to Caleb and Brown. And this is the crypto bubbles. So we'll go through the bubbles real quick and then check the holders and then get into it. So currently, Cato is up 16.3. Zan is up 26.8. Uniswap is up 3.6. ICP is pumping up 14.5. Zebec is up 1%. What is this? Canon Network is up, actually down 1.5. Why is it green? It's weird. No, it is up. Actually up 1.5, up 4.4% on the hour. And Zebec, our favorite payroll processor, is up 1% on the day, down 18.9 on the week, down 23.6 on the month, 194 on the year, and 0.8 on the hour. So I don't know, but it seems to me like whatever crypto projects you're into with a good use case, if the powers that be don't want it, things start getting weird. And I saw a whole video yesterday, or was it what's today? Yesterday and Saturday. This guy's posting videos about the manipulation with um Zebec. And if one of the exchanges are doing manipulation, right? Because it's like whenever there's a big announcement happens, stuff that should pump the price doesn't move, or the price goes down. So at some point, right, we have to acknowledge there's some kind of manipulation going on. And manipulation, I guess, is a good thing, right? Because that means people want to suppress the price. But at some point, I think it'll get past the uh suppression point, right? And when that happens, it's going to take all the way off. What up, Edward? What's going on, bro? Yeah, we got the sound back. So thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and super chat. So let's check the holders real. Let's just check the price. Currently we're at the 00297, up 1.3%. We've been at the 0029 and under all weekend, right? So I don't follow that 100% either. But it's weird, man. It's like if it does go up, what is this? Yeah, C0029. So the whole week it's been down in the 0029. One thing I can say is it holds steady, but come on, bro. We should at least been back at the 003 or the 005. So this is the 17th. So we've been at the 003 and 0029 all day. Let's look at the week. On the week, as the data's loading, yeah, we've been below the 003. So I think we are definitely due for an announcement and due for a rally, which I think is coming up since October. We've been below the 004. Oh, wow. 0040. And it's good that it holds the price steady. But I think, or I suspect it's time for a pump, man. Like, what's really going on? Granted, the entire crypto market's been down, but I don't know, man. I just think there's something weird going on with Zebec. Or one of the major holders is keeping the price down until they are ready to let it run. Let's look at the month chart, actually. So yeah, this is the 005. And since, what is this? July, right? We ain't been above the 005 since July. Let me straighten this line up, actually. With all the announcements that happened, we should at least be above the 005. If we held at the 5, I could see, but holding down below the 005 is definitely looking like suppression, right? Like, why would it stay exactly under the price this long? I mean, it's a good project, right? There's nothing to it. It's weird that things don't move the way they should move. I understand the market is uh, suppressed, right? There's no way a crypto like this should not be pushing at least to the 006 or the 005, right? It's like the price comes down for us to pick it up, but they keep pushing it down. Give Zebec time, more time to buy. Zebec is a long roller coaster. 1 penny is going to be cheap soon. I mean, to your point, Peter Gunn, I mean, I'm with it, right? The price movement is good because we can accumulate, but make sure you guys are accumulating, right? I was talking to a guy over the weekend at the Bitcoin conference. He said he doesn't accumulate. I mean, he doesn't DCA. He waits till the price goes in and he buys and he holds, right? He buys and he holds until the next price dip. So I don't know if I agree with that or if you should continue to DCA in. It's not financial advice, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. Smash the like and subscribe. Thank you, Silver Days. We can go to the 005 in a day. Remember how these cryptos be moving, especially under a Billy. We might go to 0025, and yeah, of course, it's suppressed, no doubt. But you're right. We guess we've got to be patient, right? Sometimes just get crazy thinking it's going to explode and it doesn't. And again, just like Bitcoin, right? It suppressed for a long time before it started running. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it's on the same trajectory as Bitcoin, right? It could take off, but I think there is a reason for the suppression, right? I don't know if it's greed or if these guys have a legitimate stake or if they are just trying to keep the price low until a certain time and then let it run away. So I don't know, but I do know we're investing and we're holding and we are here diamond handy. But let's get to the holder count real quick. So this is 88,206 holders. Currently, waiting for the rest of the, that's weird, this didn't came up. So this is Solo Scan. Solo Scan is 88,207. So why can't we get the details? Here is weird. Let me refresh this real quick. What up, Cozy? Thank you for reposting the stream. And we're kind of talking about suppression, and we're talking about the announcement that could be coming. So I don't know. Do you guys think we are due for an announcement? I think we're due for something, right? Some kind of major announcement. And we're going to do this video from Black Root. Shout out to Black Root. Preach, Root, preach. Yeah, like why is the freaking what's going on with this today? Why is the holders not coming up? Interesting. Because it generally comes up by now. I don't know if it's the connection or what. But yeah, the holder count generally pops. Why is this not loading today? So I guess we can go to, I guess we'll go to X and close this down until the holders come up. All right. So let's look at CoinMarketCap. CoinMarketCap is saying market cap is down to 1.13 trillion, down 2.1%. The CMC 20 is down 2.2% to 194.7. Fear and greed is all the way in extreme fear, which would probably confirm the price being down. Altcoin season is back to 31, and average crypto RSI is 38.6 in the oversold category. Deep. Bitcoin is at 92,000. Ethereum's at 3,000. XRP went down to $2.16. Binance is 908. Solana is 131.02. So definitely the market as a whole is down. And let's go over to X. This is the most explosive, high impact institutional partner, Visa Direct. Visa's already shown willingness to integrate Solana based rails if Visa use Zebec for instant merchant settlement, recurring payments, payroll, and cross border payouts. This is blue collar crypto. Zebec, let me know my Uphold jersey has been shipped. Talk about marketing, but also community involvement. They are giving out in front of people, in front of both big business and retail with their sports advertising huge. Think about it. When adoption really takes place, there will be a demand for Zebec form utility. But retail will hop in also because Zebec's doing the best catch the eyes of retail. Then watch one NBA team utilize Zebec for payroll. And it's all over the news. The players will be posting about it. True FOMO begins. And he's right, right? All it's going to take is one small adoption, and the Zebec is to the moon, right? But we're missing the adoption end, which is weird with a project such as Zebec, you think somebody would start talking about it, right? The information would gradually get out. I don't know. Why I'm bullish on Zebec, make a quick video this morning for live stream. Holds heads up, no morning live stream. Win 1,400 Zebec. We'll pick a winner to win. So it's a short video. It's a full video. See how long is this video. We'll see what Boozilla's saying.
Want to know why I'm bullish on Zebec? Add a circle. Check out the Circle Alliance. I'm bullish on Zebec for a few reasons. Let me break it down to you. You got a minute? I'm CKJ Crypto News, the Hidden Gem Hunter.
I'm trying to get this video to play. It was
Want to know
playing, but
why I'm
there's
bullish
no,
on Zebec?
like, why is there no
Add a circle. Check out the
video?
Circle Alliance. I'm bullish on Zebec for a few reasons. Let me break it down to you. You got a minute? I'm CKJ Crypto News, the Hidden Gem Hunter, the Portfolio Melter. I've been melting portfolios since 2016, documenting my journey on the greatest wealth transfer in the history of humanity. Upsman is here. So here's the thing. Doing my research on Zebec, I realized that payroll and payments of the future is the Zebec Network. Because here's the thing. People want to get paid by the minute, by the hour, by the day, not bi-weekly. Bi-weekly is old. Hey, how you doing today? Great, great, great. Got time for that?
Sir, you're good.
Good to go? I appreciate you. Have a good day.
So that was a good part. I don't know how long that live stream is, but I can't get it to come up.
I interviewed the Upsman,
Shout
asked him
out
did he
to
know what cryptocurrency was, but I didn't want to
Bootzilla.
hold him up from his job. But here's the thing, Zebec is real-time payroll. Check Circle Alliance. Circle Alliance. Here's the thing.
So this is going on down X. This is George. We don't follow Bitcoin. We MF and Pirates. 4 more unlocks. Huge announcement this week. ADP, PayPal, Feds, ISO compliance end of the month. Still to come, possibly XRP partnership. Bullish, very bullish. I guess this is the video as well. Rise and shine, great wealth transfer time. And I agree with 100% of ZBCN has a huge potential, just like I know XRP does as well. I don't think $10 ZBIC is realistic, but $1 to $2 in the next few years could be good luck. ZBCN sitting at a critical level, but this is exactly where legends are born. Markets punish the impatient, but they reward those who understand structure, momentum, and timing. Every major breakout in this space comes from the zones like this, where conviction is tested and vision separates tourists from the builders. What happens now isn't weakness, it's suppression. And with compression breaks, it erupts. ZBIC has been delivering partnerships, compliance wins, integrations, a roadmap that actually moves. The price might be quiet, but the foundation is getting louder every single week. This bounce from here won't be a recovery, it'll be legendary. A reminder to everyone watching, bottoms are never comfortable, but they're always profitable for those who see the bigger picture. Stay focused, stay ready. Zebec isn't done. I guess he's right. I guess it's mainly about conviction, right? We just have to be patient, right? Because I think Buffett says that wealth is taken from the impatient to the patient when investing. Interesting article from Forbes in 2023 named Zebec and Zebec headquarters alongside with Ripple Stellar. And guess what it was about? Fed Now. Nice article. Let's see if it's mentioned in the article. Pull it up real quick. This is restoring Zebec supply from 100 billion to 10 billion. The smartest moves for long-term growth. Zebec doesn't have a demand problem. It has a supply optics problem. 100 billion token supply automatically caps price potential, pushes away serious investors, and traps the project in a micro cap forever narrative, regardless of how strong the utility or roadmap is. A strategic reverse split that reduces supply from 100 billion to 10 billion changes everything without altering market cap. Cleaner tokenomics. A 10 billion supply places Zebec in the same league as real institutional players with sustainable long-term models. Better price structure, a higher per token price attracts institutions' intentions and reduces volatility. Improve investors' confidence. It signals the team is serious about long-term value creation, not short-term trading activity. More realistic valuation growth. A 10 billion supply opens the door for meaningful price appreciation without needing to impossible levels of liquidity. This move isn't about manipulation of price. It's about restoring the balance of the tokenomics, aligning Zebec with standard of top tier projects. If Zebec wants to grow into a powerhouse, it's designed to be. Correcting supply from 100 billion to 10 billion necessary step forward. This post is intended purely for speculation discussion and should be viewed through those lenses only. Interesting. The payment narrative is heating up faster than the market can price it. Zebec screaming for attention while Tail quietly sits ranked 98th with real traction. Low market caps make noise, but adoption moves in silence. This is not hype. It's not a hype contest. It is a liquidity war. Zebec plays the role as the aggressive newcomer, low cap, high beta, sharp candles, perfect for traders who want velocity over fundamentals. But the payments is not just a momentum game. Payments are infrastructure, speed matters, but utility decides the winner, and that's where Tail enters the arena. Tail has something Zebec cannot fake, the time in the market. While most of the cryptos chased whenever Meta was trending, Telecom built integrations, expanded access rails, and accumulated real users. Sitting at a rank of 89 is not a fluke. It is the market admitting this one is actually works. The contrast between the two could not be clearer. Zebec wins the volatility battle. It moves faster. Its candles pull liquidity like a magnet, and risk on players love this setup. But when the market hunts for actual payment infrastructure, not just hype velocity, the rotation favors projects with throughput partners and staying power, exactly the zone Tail occupies. Look the signals around Tail, stable partner network integrations with real usage, liquidity thick enough to absorb inflows, and recognition outside crypto Twitter not just inside. Meanwhile, Zebec operates on a different axis entirely. Its momentum engine, explosive, unpredictable, and perfect for short cycle rotations. But long term payment rails are not shaped by speed, they're shaped by adoption curves. The real question is not which one pumps first, but which one survives the liquidity rotation. ZB can deliver aggressive upside in a short window. Tail can capture the majority of long term flow when the sector matures. Both can run, but run for different reasons. This is a classic flight, the fast challenger versus the established network in payments. Giants are built on volume, not vibes. So the battle lines are simple. Zebec speed, tail is system, and sitting at the rank of 89 is not cap. It is a warning. You are not underpriced the payment heavyweight. You are not underpricing the payment heavyweight. Definitely. So let me know what you guys think about that, right? That was a lot of information. And him comparing Tail to Zebec is actually pretty good comparisons. But he's right. Tail has been in the market long. So I think one of the things we're overlooking here is time in the market. Zebec has to do the time, first off. And second, with the adoption will come, right? It's one or two commercials from exploding. We know that. But you just have to wait until that explosion happens, right? Just got to be patient. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. Anybody, everybody, somebody say something. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, we did open that up. So this is FedNow launched a blockchain innovation delivers next gen instant payments. So where does they say PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, real time payments? Do they mention Zebec though? They do. So decentralized Web3 platforms like Ripple, Stellar, and Zebec are positioning to transform the payment space by addressing limitations of traditional payments systems that combine technology with finance seamlessly, paving the way for the era of frictionless global payment. Sam Tanner Zebec says of the recently launched Nevis chain, Zebec is helping to create the future where money is able to move freely, giving individuals, businesses, and investors and teams faster, earlier access to funds and tokens. The launch of Nebius on Mainnet is another breakthrough on the path towards the vision. Frontier of the digital finance is set to deliver diverse use cases beyond real-time payments, such as automated Web3 subscriptions, get paid as you work schemes, interest, income on pledged assets for lending, wholesale cash management, asset swaps, custodies, and asset servicing, the atomic settlements, and how the host of a new user-driven applications, many improving liquidity and releasing trapped capital. Final launch of FedNow, some industry pundits commented better late than never. Some in the blockchain industry think that FedNow is a bit late to the party, while it's clear that a government-backed service will attract many counterparts over time. Both institutional and user adoption is growing for industry-led state-of-the-art compliance blockchains. Definitely. For now, the payment industry is a hot space to watch with payments giants Visa and PayPal focused on stablecoins. Industry solutions and consumer behaviors are likely to move at a faster pace than central banks. This is the attention of Congress and Representative Maxwell, deeply concerned about stablecoins without federal framework and regulations as the U.S. rushes to implement a framework. The world is already moving to Web3 and the next generation of digital remittance payments tools for building a new digital financial market infrastructure are now available. The standards are different, but oh man, different and the same, or are different. So are the demands. The biggest challenge for central banks and agencies is to keep up with the industry and the consumers in both. Interesting. So let me know what you guys think about this article as well. So let me know what you guys think about that article. There's actually a lot of good information for you guys to continue to diamond hand and stay focused. And we're actually going to be expanding that partnership in the coming months. The Stablecoin Podcast episode, Simon and the Revolutionize the 11 trillion payroll industry with stablecoins, released November 25, is 100% real and direct confirmation from the Zebec CEO, Simon himself, while discussing yields on idle funds, a core feature of the existing USDY integration for streaming payroll balances. Simon explicitly says, and we're actually going to be expanding that partnership in the coming months, referring directly to Ondo Finance Partnership, the one that powers the USDY yields on Zebec's real-time streams and black card balances since May 2024. No ambiguity, is Simon's dropping the clearest hint yet. Level 2 full RWA suite integration is inbound, likely Q2 or Q1 2026, aligning with Zebec's payroll scaling, PayBridge billions process, and Ondo's tokenized asset explosion, 1.8 billion TVL. Why this changes everything. Existing level 1 USDY for basic 5% APR on hold streams. Incoming expansion, expect OUGS treasuries, OMMF money markets, and more auto-allocating payroll into BlackRock's grade RWA, second by second, compounding black card spends, earnings, institutional yields, ties into Simon's higher heights narrative and recent pilots, all unity, EU, RAU, and Payroll lending. Zebec Ondo about to eat. Let's freaking go. Not financial advice. Do your own research. But this is bullish. And he's right, right? I mean, all these articles are pretty much saying there's good things coming from Zebec. We just got to be patient. What up, New Wave? Still holding. Fed now, stronghold lane. I'm stacking a lot of Zebec right now to collect them free tokens during these hard times. I don't see it moving much right now anyway with this manipulative market. You're right here all day. And Phantom Beat, what up, Phantom Beat, what up, New Wave? You're right. Right. The whole narrative, we're gonna be millionaires. We will be. We just gotta wait it out, right? Because a lot of things are moving, but nothing's really moving, like moving, right? None of the price has exploded. Everything has been stable or flat. And I suspect we won't see anything running to maybe the end of the year or the beginning of 2026. I was hoping for something to happen in Christmas, like a slight Christmas rally. But the way things are going and all these announcements and all this political drama, I think that's also suppressing the market, which I was telling people over the summer about what was that? No, in the spring, you know, Casper was going to make people millionaires. And I told these guys, you got to be patient. And then a lot of stuff happened with Casper, and the price dipped, and the price is still dropping. Although the project is good, the price is still dropping, kind of like a lot of other really good cryptos. But I've been telling you guys, or I've been saying in general, things are going to keep going and going until that regulation hits. And when that regulation hits, it's going to drop like a bomb. And a lot of these cryptos are going to crash all the way out. And when they do, whatever is left hanging around, i.e., a Zebec, is going to start shooting up like a rocket. But we're going to have to wait for this regulation to hit, and then a lot of liquidity to move from these coins that aren't going nowhere back to the real projects. I can't wait for I know anyone with nonstop swing post in December and beyond. I can't wait to annoy everyone. Yeah, I do think December is going to be the tale of the two cities, right? The tale of the two cryptos and the crypto markets. December should be something that's going to set everything either on fire or out of business. At the end of the day, it's about making money. It's not pretend otherwise. ZBIC is speculative, yes, but speculative with substance when you cut through the noise and look at the dynamics and leadership driving ZBIC. ZBIC is your vehicle. Maybe remember it's your money, your gold, your rules. Some chase 10x moonshots. Some want stable yields. Some want hedge against the system. ZBIC may fit your plan or may not, but never invest because someone's yelling louder. Hold your bags. Your loyalty is your bags. Invest because you're done the work, see the compliance and the partnerships and the live product and decide it. Whatever it is, you need to ask yourself, is this aligned with my risk, my timeline, and my bag goals? I'm holding to load up more on XRP. That's it. No FOMO, no drama. Just clear eyes, full bags, can't lose. So shout out to Jessica. Follow Jessica. Wait, that's oh man, that was this guy. So the backed. This is backed by Algorand. Simon on the revolutionized 11 trillion industry with stablecoins. The ZBEC to redefine payroll with financial services. Follow stablecoin partners Algorand, Foundation Algorand, stablecoin Z.com. The freak ZBEC, the ZBEC IO Simon, UK LinkedIn. That's weird. Conversation covers the challenges faced in selling those innovative solutions, the target market for ZBIC, and the future of stablecoins and the financial ecosystem. Simon emphasizes the importance of adapting to the needs of the modern worker and the potential of ZBIC to redefine payroll and financial services. So there it is. We read this one already. Web3.
Fighting XRP.
Let's see what Angelica says. Web3 utility wins. Let's not fight over this correction. I'm invested in ZBIC at the 0009. And this is from that actual video, the podcast. I need to check that out. Let's see what Angelica says. Then we're going to get to this video.
Today is November 16, 2025. On my feed, you all are fighting XRP versus Telcoin, Telcoin versus Zebec. Number one, it's November 16, 2025. In the future, remember this Web3 will be interoperable. Again, let me repeat, Web3 will be interoperable. For example, Zebec is interoperable on 18 chains with over 150 plus tokens. AKA tokens means crypto. So that means Zebec can go on 18 different chains. Okay? That's number one. Number two, I am not going anywhere with Zebec. Again, I wasn't going to say this, but I will say this now. So, Zebec is sending me a jersey, okay? Special edition jersey. I will be at the November 28th Pistons game, and I will wear the jersey to represent Zebec and Uphold. Guys, be happy for me. I just got on the Telcoin Global Governance Council. Okay, and another way to say this, a lot of you are saying, oh, I'm not going to swap XRP for Telcoin. Nobody asked you to do that. But I want you to be mindful. My mindset is this. This is what my mindset is. All my followers here, I don't think from a US perspective only. I think from a global perspective. Not all my followers are from the United States and have extra income, right? So when I'm on the Telco Global Governance Council, for example, I have to represent under the Treasury Council the stakers all the way from India to Dubai to Singapore. I'm thinking about everybody. So I have a very global mindset to make sure to help the investors and the stakers. So thank you very much, but I just have to address this. I don't know why we're fighting here. On top of it, I hold XRP, long-term holder. I bought XRP when it was 17 cents. I went through the whole lawsuit. Thank God it's over. I'm a long-term holder of Telcoin. I've held a Zebec since 0.009. I have a very interoperable mindset with a very diversified portfolio. So
So I definitely agree with her on that, right? I'm into Zebec, I'm into XRP, I even hold Bitcoin and Caspa. This will be a diverse crypto market, right? It's not going to be one coin that everyone's fighting over. There's going to be several coins. It's a freaking crypto ecosystem, guys. It's going to be more than one winner here. So I don't know why everyone is so standoffish per token, guys. We can all get along. Calm down. Market makers see everything you post. They read the fear, the doubt, the impatience. They want sentiment on ZBIC to drop so they can rip it up when the crowd slips. They recreate every scenario you expect, so you lose and they win. Stay diligent, stay focused. The real move comes when the timeline gets quiet. Interesting. It's actually really good. Not financial advice, just join. My opinion for Zebec. I think the dip's going to be on November 21st. Then at the end of December, we're going to see a 4 to 7x from here. BTH, I bought ZBIC 10 days ago and I'm super bearish on this coin, but the long term seems bullish. Just my opinion. It's weird. That's weird. You're posting about you're bearish, but you're bullish long term. All right, so let's go to this video from Black Roo. This is oh yeah, my first little staking hitter all day came up. The first stake I think I got a little over 1,000 tokens. I wish I would have staked more. But that first 4 months, it ended like yesterday. But I was having a problem with Solo Flare. So I went ahead and unstaked it and took it out of Solo Flare. I'm gonna link a different wallet for my next staking. Something happened. My wallet got compromised with Solo Flare, and they took. I didn't have a lot of money in. Might have had $400 or $500 or something, and it started pumping, and then something swapped the tokens to Solana and withdrew it from the wallet. So I mean, I'm not messing with those guys. I talked to those guys. They said it could have just been a wallet was compromised. I was like, bro, I've been putting stuff in it for months. Nothing happened until now. So I don't know. But once I do link another wallet, I'll start staking again. But I'm done with Solo Flare, right? Forget all these shady wallets and exchanges and anything that is not to help the users, right? Anything that has a loophole, a problem, a compromise, a virus, a hack, don't even waste your time with it. Stick with the ones that are supporting you. So support those who support you. And Solo Flare is not supporting. So we're done with them. And I wish I could get my whatever happens with this case with freaking Trade Ogre. But I think it's probably more helpful than hurtful. I think it's probably gonna come back at some point, and I'm gonna have a mess of cubic tokens sitting out there that might actually be worth something. So we'll just continue to wait, guys. Have to be patient. So I would like this to do a small bull run to 2030, maybe move like regular stocks. Volatility is good. Them being in control makes you feel a little secure, especially since this is a market now. And you're right, right? That's something I didn't think about. Since they are in control, right? They know they can pump and they can dump whenever they want to. So that means if they're suppressing the price, they're in it for the long run, right? If not, they would have pumped it and been gone. So if they're keeping the price down, they must have a long-term goal, which is a good investment for us. But let's switch to Rue real quick and see what he's talking about. Shout out to my main man, Rue and Max.
Show how massive Zebec and payroll will be. This is a huge update. So we appreciate you guys. Consider smashing that like. We're going to get into a lot of key info. This is so good to share with you. So back again with Rue on this one, and we're going to get into this. So I did share a little bit of this on the Pirate Patreon. I want to elaborate more about this, obviously with Rue. This comes straight from Zebec, and basically it's this. It's the big announcement. Rue share this. I share this. A lot of people are sharing this right now. It is, in my humble opinion, that with this big announcement, I'm leaning towards it could be ISO 222. And I'm not a fortune teller, but like it says there, stay tuned. Big announcement, major US payments integration coming next week. They posted this literally just a couple days ago. And, shout out to people like Crypto Gods X Gold. He has his own take on this and so on. And I do want to kind of highlight this because he did make some good points. He says, for example, most likely FIS, World Pay, followed by the Clearinghouse, RTP. Rue is going to give his own insights about some of this. Or FedNow, certified vendor, could also be ADP, major payroll API. So for one, let's jump back for a second and talk about some of this. So the way I look at it, Rue, is it's like this. I really truly believe it's going to be ISO 222 because we have seen numerous X Spaces, Simon Babakani, some other members of the team saying, look, they are legitimately trying to get the whole thing done of ISO 222 compliance by the end of the year. Well, what better time to be compliant before the key day, the 22nd? Now, maybe they don't get it done by the 22nd, but maybe it's like on that following Monday. Whatever the case be, why not just get it done before then? Before we jump more into this, what are your key thoughts? Do you agree with the posting, obviously, from Crypto God X Gold 589, or do you believe that it could be something else? Your thoughts?
I was kind of leaning in the direction of I was kind of leaning in the direction of what X Gold was saying there, with like the DTCC, maybe because Simon Vebkani said he met with the DTCC when he went to Cybos. But now that you say that, and I know that the ISO deadline for the rest of the world is 11/22, it might be the ISO. But the ISO to me, like as far as like what they've done with Mika, what they've done with WageLink, to me that's already like a foregone formality. Like it's already done. Of course they can still tell us officially next week, but be that as it may, either it be ISO or it be something directly with FedNow or DTCC. Either way, I think it'd be huge news for Zebec. But to be very, very clear, my thought is that it's something with DTCC/FedNow.
Well, could very well be. And all these things are really, really bullish, right? So thank you for the insight on that. I want to explain and share some key things with you guys with some actual documents as promised on my thesis on a little bit more about the whole topic of actual documents will show how massive Zebec payroll will be, right? That's what's really, really important. So let's share with you the first one. Let's pull this up. So for one, if you're wondering where this came from, this comes from the Bank of England. And we know that the Bank of England obviously has done collaboration with Quant Network. I'm not trying to make this necessarily a quant video, but it is worth pointing out that they had this 24-page document about the RTGS renewal program. So it is kind of in alignment with what Rue was saying, and obviously what the gentleman, Crypto God X Gold, was saying. So let's get into that for just a brief bit. Policy statements implementing ISO 222 enhanced data in CHAPS. Now, when we get down into it, here's what's really interesting. On page 15 of 24, it says specifically there will be a period of dual running structured and unstructured remittance information until Swift switches off empty messages. If you think about it, like we always reference with Ripple, the flip of the switch, they even cite as Swift switches off empty messages expected literally this month, the bank will mandate CHAPS DPs to use structured remittance information for all payments when Swift switches off empty messages for payments. Now, you may be wondering, like, I don't really get all this. Well, in this document, it specifically mentions some key things about this. So for one, I want to point out that if you were to read this whole thing, basically it mentions the official policy outlines the phased adoption of ISO 222 in the UK's CHAPS value payment system. And that in itself means emphasizing enhanced data fields like structured remittance and purpose codes, explicitly ties these to what, everybody? Payroll, efficiency, and that is a big deal. Getting further into this, I want to now take you over to this other key area. Let's pull this up. This is from who? This is from Swift. This is an actual Swift document, not Swift blockchain, traditional Swift, SWIFT. In this one, it's about supercharging your payments business with ISO 222. This one's 65 pages. I wouldn't expect you guys to read all 65 pages, but I do want to take you down to here. It says specifically here on page 46 of 65, with ISO 222, you can use enhanced message data to improve your customer insights efforts in a number of ways. For one, gain more insights into customer behavior by using purpose codes and business service codes. Now, again, back to this topic of these specific codes. Why point that out? Well, for one, that's going to allow you to identify critical payments like salaries. Now, did that catch your attention? And LEIs, for example, those stand for legal entity identifiers, extending to remittance structured data by when? November 22nd, 2025. So there's benefits to this, everybody, and this is what people don't realize, because this will include what's referred to as improved reconciliation. And that means reducing the manual intervention and enhanced straight-through processing for corporate payments. And that also means payroll. Now, you may be wondering how so. Let's bring you to the next tab. This is now page 56 of 65 of this document. And what we see here is literally what I just talked about, because if anything, using structured remittance information, corporate finance treasury teams can accelerate the reconciliation of payments and release goods earlier. Is that all we have? No. Page 31 of 65 talks about this specifically, about these dedicated fields. Hear me out on this as well. On this one, when it talks about specifically this, I want to point out that you have where it says dedicated fields for ultimate parties. Greater field length reduces the risk of data truncation. I've been talking about data truncation for the longest time. ISO 222, I think we get something like 10,000 characters. The old model I don't even know if it was 50. Let's just give the benefit of the doubt of 100. But again, we're eliminating message truncation because now we have data rich messages. That is important. The other area I want to jump down to is another key area of this. ISO 222 messages provide opportunity for greater data quality with structured address fields, clear, simple, human intelligible tags for each data element, reducing confusion between names, street names, towns, and countries. And on top of that, when we get into the whole real big thing of payroll, well, guess what we have here? Let me go up to Beringa, and they point out ISO 222, new language for better payments. And when we jump down into it, does it mention specifically payroll? It does. Why should organizations embrace it? Well, numerous reasons that we outlined, but specifically on page 3 of 12, they have a roadmap for this. So hear me out on this, even though this part's not completely highlighted, part of it is. It says the ECB. So that, for one, is the European Central Bank. Okay, we know that the digital euro is coming very, very soon. Christine Lagarde talked about some of this stuff. But the framework defines a payment scheme as a set of formal, standardized, and common rules enabling the transfer of value. So again, back to Ripple and the internet of value between users by means of electronic payment instruments. In the UK, if you transfer money to a friend via a mobile banking app, the chances are it will go through the faster payment scheme. So again, back to kind of like what Rue was talking about, as well as Crypto God X Gold 589, because they mentioned RTP or FedNow or something like that, right? Or like even FIS, World Pay, fall with a clearinghouse. So to me, this adds up. And then, of course, like it says here, run business. And look what it says here, payroll will likely be distributed to employees through the back scheme. Any high value transactions will go through the Bank of England's real-time gross settlement RTGS system, CHAPS. So we're going to pause on that. We have more documents to get into, which will include a little bit more from a standard charter quotation, as well as back to the whole thing of Beringa, and the icing on the cake will be straight from who? Be straight from Oracle. So, Real, some of your thoughts even on this, literally mentioning the whole thing of high value transactions, and of course, like it says, if you run a business, payroll will likely be distributed to employees through the BACS system. Take it away.
Kind of gets into some of what I was talking about in my episode on this. Zebec, biggest information yet. I went over an interview from the CEO of Zero Hash, Edward Woodford. Okay. And one of the things he mentions the programmable money. That reminds me of the first article or the first thing that you mentioned with Bank of England. He also mentioned directly, he says streaming payments, right? So this really makes me think this might have something to do with, you know, different things that Simon Babakani has said about the DTCC and things involving FedNow, okay, which we also covered in my episode there. But again,
To Rue and his research, especially with the Fed now and the ISO documents. 'Cause I had no idea it's that much information on the ISO document. So let me know what you guys think about this, and let's get back to the video.
all of this kind of goes together because we know the XRP ledger is behind this, right? You need ISO 20022 so you can have the messaging, and then you can stuff the API inside of there and do everything with the messaging, right? So either way, it can be really, really lucrative. But the reason why I kind of lean towards the DTCC and the Fed now is because the Zebec notice said big US news. But either way, I think we're really good.
Well, thank you for that, Rue. We do have the icing on the cake for you. And if anything, this helps benefit the channel. So we're going to come right back after each message. I have many friends that are earning every single day trading futures on BTCC. It's a simple process, and even if you don't want to learn how to trade, you could follow a trader on the site and let him do the trading for you. And again, I'm not trying to have any of you guys use your hard-earned money to lose anything. You don't know what you're doing, don't jump into this. But there is money to be made, and don't use your nest egg for leverage trading. Use a separate portfolio. But I suggest learn how to trade, earn you some extra money on BTCC. It's easy, you don't have to KYC, and you don't have to use a virtual private network VPN. This is a wonderful site. They've been around since 2011. Give them a shot. Also, when you earn that extra money, you can store that on your Decent wallet. The Decent wallet was not affected by the XRPL debacle, where the backdoor of many wallets was open and there was a breach. So Decent wallet was not affected by that. Decent wallet is as safe as you keep your seed phrase. It's a wonderful product, and you can get the discount by using the link. It's the only way to get the affiliate discount, and that is to use an affiliate link. So that link is popping up on the upper right side of your screen, and it is the one that you will use. You'll also get free shipping. Pick you up a Decent wallet today. Secure your assets. If you don't have them stored in a wallet and sitting on exchange, then you're at risk. So pick you one up today. Thank you. All right, welcome back, everybody. So what we're going to do now is we're going to jump into the promise documents that we were talking about earlier. Let's pull that up. So for one, we established this, which was great in regard to specifically what you saw from Baringa. Now let's jump over to a little bit more of Baringa, but look what it mentions here from Standard Chartered. Because Standard Chartered, Rue and I both cover this about they realize that we're not going to kick the can down the road any more further when it comes to ISO 222. It's a real thing, and it's a hard date. So by creating a common language and model for ISO 222, it will significantly improve the quality of data across the payment ecosystem. Richer, structured, meaningful data will enable new client experiences while improving compliance and efficiency. This comes from Stephen Perriman, who's head of cash product over at Europe at Standard Chartered. Okay, and again, why am I pointing out Europe? Again, the ECB, European Central Bank, coming out digital euro. We know that Ripple, Hedera, and Quant will actually lead the charge when it comes to that specifically. But again, what about the whole thing like with Zebec and whatnot? I hear you. It says here on page 6 of 12, enter ISO 222. The standard enables payments to carry 10x more data in structured and consistent format. The fact that it is a standard means all parties across a payments chain, again, all across the payments chain, will use and understand the same data fields and structure, creating more consistency, harmonization, and interoperability. You know, if you really think about it, this is why we do a lot of these outlines. This is why we try to connect so many things for you guys, because when you get more into it, you will realize specifically that, yeah, you know what, this really does make some sense, because if anything, it's realizing that, yeah, you know, all these reports do show that ISO's 222 structured elements outperform legacy formats, and that's the bottom line. And we have, of course, more examples of that. When we talk about purpose codes, when we talk about improved reconciliation, all this basically means that the standard in itself enables payments to carry, like we mentioned, the 10x more data, and that basically means that it positions payroll as a prime use case for data-rich standards. That in itself means reducing reconciliation errors in bulk employee payments. So I did want to focus a little bit more about that, and again, bring it to you. The other area of focus, again, from Baringa is page 3 of 12, specifically mentions data rich. So why should organizations embrace any of this? Simple answer is more data. The infrastructure and messaging used today don't align with the explosion in big data and the needs of consumers to know more specifics beyond how much, where to, or where and by when. As a bank or a business, if you can imagine having, you have one message package. It specifies an entire shopping basket. Again, back to the reference even from Ripple about a commodity or a basket of currencies. I mean, all these things match up. But anyway, the sustainability of the products that bought, associated insights such as time spent before completing the purchase, or even specific instructions like when depositing these funds, also inform the beneficiary that there will be another 3 payments tomorrow of a similar value. So again, even with Zebec, the connections to Ripple, the connections to Stellar, again, the internet of quote unquote value. ISO is data rich, which should be music to the ears of customers and banks. One more area here I want to point out. What's the problem with existing standards? While current standards work for money movement, they just don't meet the needs of the modern data rich world. Very, very true. You know, and that's something we definitely want to get into. Now, as promised, Oracle has a big thing to be mentioned here. This comes from this Oracle document, literally straight from their site. It's actually referred to as creating payment files, ISO 222, and reports in global fintech. What we have here is where Oracle points out creating payment files, ISO 222, and reports in global payroll. Notice how it says payroll. This should be your icing on the cake for Switzerland. All right, so within the Swiss payroll application, employees' payment information gets transferred beginning all the way back in the 1st of 2018. And you see here that even to where we're at now with the Swift document, with the other one from Beringa, we see that November 22nd, 2025 is the date that this is mandated, right? So ISO 222 replaces former DTA, data exchange by file, and the EPO, electronic payment order format. So if you think about it, if it's going to replace this format, well, what about, for example, even basic things like your ATMs? What about the whole basic thing of when somebody does touch and tap? This applies to so many things, and this is where we get the narrative of where people say specifically, you will use blockchain and distributed ledger technologies. You will use these technologies, whether it's connected to Quant, Ripple, and so on, and not even realizing what rails that you're on. This is a perfect example of it. And if anything, back to the whole thing of what everybody reports in global payroll for Switzerland. What about worldwide? And as we know, Oracle is a key partner to the Quant Network and their key partner to JP Morgan. I'm going to kick it over to Rue for some final thoughts in regard to all the findings in today's video. Take it away.
Now, Zebec might have mentioned in their little X posting that it's US, but this whole system is global and it's a global standardization. So when we do payroll now, which one of the things I was talking about with my people on my episode of this is that it's global payroll and that you're going to get rid of all these intermediaries. So it's going to be very lucrative and very important for the banks. And Zebec is at the genesis of money in that the moment you get paid, you're creating a salary or the moment you do work, you're getting paid, right? Um, so their super app is going to be very, very important when it comes to this because now you can spend the moment you work. And all of the articles that Maximus mentioned there, um, we have ISO basically standardizing the whole messaging globally for banks. So now you can get rid of all these third parties. A bank in England or a bank in New Zealand or whatever, they're going to understand whatever message is sent from the bank in the US because ISO 20022 standardizes all of that. And you put Quant on top of it, you can put an API in and do anything you want, get any type of data you want. And I'm glad to be an investor in Zebec because it's at the start of this for retail as far as the moment you work, you're getting paid. And that's being converted into various stable coins that can go anywhere. So yeah, love it.
Very cool. I actually meant to share this and I need to do it real quick. I wanted to point out some significance about this. So, for one, if you were to go over here and mention specifically the global payroll, Switzerland has long experience in preparation and communication of XML files. Well, you think about again, we're talking about the central bank of central banks, these Swiss banks, right? Like, think of how many times people just reference Swiss banks in general, but it mentions here specifically this whole thing of XML files and the requirement for integrating with ISO 222. Sometimes people miss this stuff. I just want to take a brief moment to basically explain this. So for one, we know that ISO 222 replaces former DTA exchange by file and the EPO, if you're wondering, electronic payment order. That format in itself is part of what is referred to as GP Switzerland. I know it sounds nuts. It supports the following payment types. They include domestic garnishments and foreign SEPA transfers. Quant has a key connection to SEPA. Some people call it SEPA. But the files that are generated using the Swiss XML dashboard framework are validated against what's referred to as pane 001 through 03 and 02 XSD. I know it sounds nerdy, but bottom line is it enables structured data for garnishments, cross-currency transfers, and detailed reporting via BI Publisher. Is something you want to inject right there?
Yeah, XML is a very, very easy syntax. I don't know if you guys know this about me, I'm a coder, but XML is an easy syntax to kind of configure messages in. The internet uses it, every place uses it. It's either XML or JSON, and that makes it very easy to transport, very easy to send to and fro in this XML format, and it's very readable. So bottom line there is it makes it easier for these messages to communicate them, putting them in XML format. So again, that makes me really think that the Overledger is involved there based off the stuff Max has shown me with Pipe Dream and things like that. All of that stuff seems to be in XML format. So that'll make it very easy to be read by anything, the internet, everything. So yeah, another place where standardization is very paramount. If I was to use an analogy, back when cars were first started, all the car parts were like different, and then they ended up standardizing them, and now every engine can be fixed relatively the same from any mechanic. So now any bank can send to any other bank without it having to say, okay, well, is this in Russian? I'm English. I can't understand this. No, it's in the standard. This is in standard format that every computer is going to understand, every system is going to understand, and it's going to cut out time, effort, and money and maintainability of the code. Just a win, 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 win.
Yeah, absolutely. Rue mentioned specifically like global, and they do reference this. So what Rue mentioned is correct. Oracle backs up literally what he just said without even officially knowing it. And the whole thing, the navigational path will be a global payroll. Notice how it says global payroll and absence management authority, correspondence, like with the month, preparing files. And again, global payroll, all these things check mark with Oracle. Like, I don't know if people realize how major that is. And if you think about, like, when we talk about cross currency transfers and detailed reporting via a specific BI publisher, while it doesn't explicitly compare data richness, we share these files and documents with you. Actual, it's not necessarily retweets, nothing against retweets, but these are actual documents. So I hope you guys appreciate this because, again, while not, it doesn't explicitly compare garnishment details and external transfers, which legacy formats like DTA, if you've studied it, handle less flexibility. Bottom line is this, everybody. These documents collectively show ISO 222's role in embedding richer structured payroll elements, for example, remittances, the references, the purpose codes for salaries. And don't forget that either, because we have to reference the nerdy stuff like Pain 001 for credit transfers. And at the end of the day, we're glad to bring you, as the saying goes, the actual receipts. Or in this case, the actual documents. So I know it's a little lengthy with a deep dive, but that's what we do, and that's okay.
Pause.
Go ahead.
Pause.
No, it's just trying to give you guys a little bit difference. Everything else you see by giving you actual documents, because I mean, sometimes people want to see the documents. That's all it is, and it really does pound home everything. Oracle.
So I think that was a good video from Brother Rue. And let me know what you guys think. And I do think I saw you, Tony T. What up, Tony? Yes, the price is dipping, but as we said, this is when you hold. This is when you DCA in and try to bounce back. But let me know what you guys think as well. And as always, it's your main man BTM signing out. And stay dangerous. Miner out.